We live in a world obsessed with big wins. Overnight success. Viral moments. Grand gestures. But here's the thing that no one wants to admit, those massive victories we crave don't come from random strokes of luck or sudden bursts of brilliance. They are born from the quiet, consistent, often invisible efforts that happen day after day. That's where the 1% rule enters. It's simple. Improve by just 1% every day. That's it. Not 100%, not 50%, not even 10%. Just 1%. But that small shift, repeated consistently, becomes the compound interest of self-mastery. It becomes your superpower in a world that's addicted to burnout and performance. At first, 1% seems laughable. Insignificant. But that's exactly why it's so life-altering. Because it's sustainable. It's doable. And most importantly, it bypasses the mental roadblocks that keep most people stuck. You see, change doesn't happen when you're overwhelmed. Change happens when you take one honest step forward, again and again, until one day, the view behind you takes your breath away. This is for the person who's tired of setting goals and not following through. For the person who feels stuck in the middle of their story, unsure how to break the cycle. For the person who knows they're meant for more but can't seem to climb out of the chaos. This rule will become your anchor, your compass, your gentle but unrelenting push toward the version of you that's waiting to be born. 1% isn't just a number. It's a decision. It's you, showing up when it would be easier to quit. It's choosing a better thought. A healthier meal. One more page read. One more rep, one more phone call. It's the little win that builds trust with yourself again. Because real confidence isn't found in the mirror. It's found in the promises you keep to yourself. The 1% rule is deeply emotional because it honors your humanity. It doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. To bring your full self to the table, even if that self feels messy, afraid, or unsure. It teaches you that small wins matter. That consistency is louder than intensity. That growth isn't a straight line, it's a dance between discipline and grace. Think about this, 1% compounded daily for a year isn't just improvement. It's transformation. If you were to get 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, you wouldn't just be 365% better. You'd be 37 times better. That's not motivational hype. That's math. That's what's possible when you give yourself permission to be a work in progress. Most people never realize their potential because they wait for perfect timing, perfect motivation, or perfect circumstances. But perfection is a lie. The truth is, the people who change their lives aren't the ones who wait, they're the ones who start messy, scared, and unsure, and keep going anyway. The 1% rule teaches you to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. And that's where true growth lives, in the quiet spaces where no one is watching. When you're tired, but you choose to keep going. When you don't see results yet, but you trust the process. When you honor your journey, even when it's hard. Let's talk about what this looks like in real life. It looks like choosing water over soda. Reading 5 pages instead of scrolling. Spending 10 minutes meditating when your brain feels chaotic. Speaking kindly to yourself when your inner critic is screaming. It's the power of the micro-shift. 1% isn't sexy. It doesn't sell flashy before and after photos. It won't make headlines. But it will change your life. Slowly. Honestly. Permanently. We live in a culture that glorifies extremes. Hustle, till you drop. Go all in or don't try. But the 1% rule invites you to heal your relationship with progress. It says, you're allowed to grow slowly. You're allowed to change your life without burning it down. You're allowed to honor your nervous system. To move at the speed of safety. To create a rhythm that's yours. This is especially important if you've struggled with consistency in the past. Maybe you've tried to go from 0 to 100 and crashed. Maybe you've labeled yourself as lazy or undisciplined. But that's not your truth. That's just a wound speaking. You're not broken, you've just been trying to do too much, too fast. The 1% rule gives you permission to breathe. To start again. To rebuild from a place of love instead of punishment. It's rooted in self-compassion, which is the foundation of true, sustainable change. Let's be real, healing, growth, and transformation are emotional. They're messy. Some days you'll feel powerful, and some days you'll feel like a fraud. But every time you choose your 1%, you're telling yourself, I am worth the effort. And that matters more than you know. That's self-trust. That's the seed of every dream you've ever had. That's how you rebuild your confidence. Not from outside validation, but from the daily evidence that you are someone who shows up for yourself. And guess what? The 1% rule doesn't just change you. It changes everything around you. Your relationships. Your health. Your money. Your mindset. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. When you show up in one area of your life, it spills over into others. Suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're building something beautiful, one brick at a time. Let's bring it back to the heart. What's one thing you can do today to move forward? Not 10 things. Just one. That's your 1%. Maybe it's journaling. Or calling your therapist. Or drinking your water. Or sending that email. Or just not giving up when it would be easier to crawl back into old habits. Whatever it is, it's enough. And over time, that enough becomes everything. We often underestimate the power of our tiny choices, but the universe doesn't. Energy multiplies. Momentum builds. Action breeds clarity. And before you know it, the person you once dreamed of becoming is looking back at you in the mirror. Here's what I want you to remember when it gets hard, because it will get hard. You don't have to be extraordinary to begin. But when you begin consistently, you become extraordinary. That's the soul of the 1% rule. It honors your wholeness. Your resilience. Your divine capacity to evolve. So when the world gets loud, when doubt creeps in, when you feel like giving up, come back to this. Come back to the smallest possible step forward. And take it. That's where the magic lives. There's someone watching this right now who's on the edge. Burnt out. Heartbroken. Stuck. And I want to speak directly to you. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not too much or not enough. You are right on time. And your story is not over. The only thing you need to do is choose today. Just today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't replay yesterday. Just ask yourself, what is my 1% today? Then do it. Celebrate it. And repeat. The person you become from that small act of courage will thank you one day. I promise. And if you need a tool to help you keep track of those 1% shifts, I highly recommend the Align Your Life Manifestation Planner. It's not just a planner, it's a blueprint for making your intentions real. You don't have to plan your whole life out. Just use it to stay focused on what matters most in your next step. Your next moment of courage. Your next 1%. Here's the truth, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to begin. The 1% rule isn't just about improvement. It's about identity. It's about becoming someone who chooses themselves daily. Who chooses growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Who chooses truth, even when it's quiet. This is your invitation. To reclaim your power. To stop waiting. To let go of shame. And to start walking forward one beautiful, imperfect step at a time. And every step you take, it echoes. It creates a ripple effect. Not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone around you. That's the revolution. That's the power of 1%. So breathe in. Exhale. And take your next step. Because you were never meant to play small. You were born to evolve gracefully, powerfully, and 1% at a time.